Okay, so I had chapter 10 summary, and chapter 10 is called The Paradigms of Qualitative Research. So basically, from the beginning of the chapter, it kind of outlines three different types of research, and it covers those in somewhat detail. The first is interpretive research, and underneath interpretive research, it also defines four different types of studies that a researcher could use to gather their data. So, the purpose of interpretive research is to understand a situation from the perspective of the participant. So, the main goal of interpretive research is to kind of set aside how you, as an investigator or a researcher, feel about a topic and go solely on what you find. So, they use different methods, but the common ones are interviews, systematic observation in the setting, and then the analysis of documentary materials. So anything that the person could produce, so journals, anything like that, they can use, and that's non-biased because it's truly from a person that was in the situation or in the event. As with all different qualitative researches, interpretive research places a great emphasis on the trustworthiness of the data. So, is it valid data or is it biased? So, that's a big focus for interpretive. The author, like I said, the author also talks about four different types of studies. So, just briefly, those are generic studies, is the first one, and it's used when seeking to describe or understand something. It says in most cases, investigators follow four different steps. So that's all in my summary, so I won't read those for you. But basically, it's the same as just a general interpretive data or interpretive research. So they want that general information. They want it straight from a person that was in the event. They don't want opinions or bias in the research to kind of take away from their findings. So the second type of study is phenomenological studies, which is used to examine the meaning of something from the vantage point of someone who actually experienced it. So again, they want that non-biased, factual research. So they really want, in this one, they really discussed and emphasized that the person doing the research should remain solely objective. Basically, just sit and listen. Don't add in your own opinions. Don't add in your own experiences because they want it solely from someone that was there and actually experienced it. So basically, like generic, but it's adding a little more to it. The third one is ethnographic studies, so kind of like it sounds. They examine the social units, so values, attitudes, beliefs among different groups. So the example in the chapter is about Native Americans. So again, that's all in my summary typed out. And then it says researchers gather information by direct presence in the natural setting. So, not necessarily a phone call or anything like that. Like, they want you face to face with the person you're interviewing or observing or whatever so that you're getting exactly what they're trying to give you as the information. In this one, and as well as the rest of them, but this one for sure, they talk about how great of an emphasis it is to make sure that you're getting accurate information, detailed information, and complete information. So, accuracy, is it true? Is it from someone that was actually there? That detail, you want every little bit you can get because it truly helps you determine your end result for the research. And then completeness. So, again, you want everything you can get and gather at that time because later you're going to go back and look at your field notes and be able to have a full rundown of what you gather from your research. The last one is grounded theory studies. It's just basically a theory. So the researcher goes in with a question. They can use however they need to use it, but they ask the question and then they can manipulate the data to come up with a theory based on their research question. So it doesn't necessarily start with a theory, but it ends with a theory. So those are all types of studies that can be done under interpretive research. So the second type of research in the chapter is critical research. And it said the purpose of the critical research is to understand and critique power within society. So basically those different levels of society was a lot of the examples in the chapter. So it says researchers begin with a number of varying assumptions. So this one is different from interpretive. Interpretive, they want you wholeheartedly objective to the subject that you're researching. They want opinions out, bias out, all of that. For critical research, they encourage you to take what you already know, the information you gather from the research, and put it all together. Like, how do you see something? How did a person that was there see it? And then you can put all of that together for your research. So it says investigators believe all research is valuable. So again, those personal values, you can bring that to the table with you. You can share opinions with your subjects that you're observing or however you do that. Again, methods of data collection. So they're basically the same. The common ones are interviews, observation, document analysis, as with several different types of research. And then the last one was super basic. So it's called mixed methods research, also called a strategy of mixed designs. So basically what that is you're using qualitative data and quantitative data. So you can add in those percentages, you can add in anything number related that would help you develop that research question. So how are you going to, that one really emphasized when is it necessary to take qualitative and quantitative data and put them together. They also talked about that mixed methods research isn't really an apt name for it, which is why several times in the chapter it refers to it as a strategy of mixed designs, because they don't want to take away the emphasis on the qualitative or the quantitative, so it's kind of both interchangeable and working together. So that's all I have for chapter 10, and then I'll post my summary along with it. Thanks.